My parents sided with my brother after he slept with my wife. So I made them regret it with a lawsuit, a hospital trip, and a will that left them nothing. I'm a civil engineer, bridge work mostly, the kind of job where you calculate stress loads and weight distribution until your eyes cross. Numbers do not lie. Physics does not care about your feelings. A structure either holds or it collapses. There is no in between. I mention this because on the afternoon of my 5th wedding anniversary, my brain went into that same mode. Cold calculation, structural analysis. Except this time, I was assessing the load-bearing capacity of my marriage. Turns out it could not hold crap. Let me back up. Holly and I met 8 years ago at a gallery opening. She was coordinating the event. She runs her own event planning business now. Pretty successful. And I was there because my buddy dragged me along. She had this laugh that cut through the pretentious art crowd. And we ended up talking for 3 hours about everything except the paintings. We got married 3 years later. Small ceremony, her family and mine. Nothing fancy. My brother Warren was my best man. He is 3 years older, always been the favorite. Growing up, Warren got the scholarships, the praise, the extra attention. He is a financial auditor, makes decent money, drives a BMW he talks about too much. My parents act like he invented accounting. Me? I build bridges. Literal physical bridges that people drive over every day. But somehow Warren's spreadsheets always impressed them more. Still, we were brothers. I trusted him. 5th anniversary falls on a Tuesday this year. I have been planning to surprise Holly, leave the construction site early, pick up flowers from that expensive place she likes, make our 7 p.m. reservation at the Italian restaurant where I proposed. I cleared it with my site supervisor, left at 2:30, stopped for the flowers, got home around 3 p.m. Warren's car was in our driveway. I remember standing there with the flowers in one hand, keys in the other, thinking maybe he stopped by to drop off an anniversary card or something. He has done that before. My parents probably put him up to it. They are big on family traditions. The front door was unlocked. House was quiet. Too quiet. No TV, no music, none of the usual sounds of Holly working from home. I put the flowers on the kitchen counter, called out her name. Nothing. Then I heard it. A sound from upstairs that made my stomach drop. Not loud, just unmistakable. I took the stairs slowly. My work boots are heavy. They should have heard me coming. The bedroom door was cracked open about 6 in. I do not know why I looked. Maybe some part of me needed to confirm what I already knew. Maybe I am just a masochist. My wife was in our bed. My brother was on top of her. I stood there for exactly 10 seconds. I know because I counted. Old habit from blast delays on construction sites. You count to make sure you are far enough away. 1, 2, 3. They saw me on 4. Holly gasped, scrambled to pull the sheets up over herself. Her face went white, then red. But here is what got me. She did not say anything. No. I am sorry. No. It is not what it looks like. Nothing. Just this guilty silence. Warren, he rolled off her, sat on the edge of my bed, and ran his hand through his hair. Then he looked at me dead in the eyes, and said, "You always take life too seriously." Not I am sorry. Not this was a mistake, just that like I was the problem for caring. I stared at him at her at the sheets we got as a wedding gift from her mother. Then I turned around and walked out. I did not slam the door, did not yell, did not throw things, just walked back downstairs with the same measured pace I would use coming up. Holly was calling my name from the bedroom, but her voice sounded distant, like it was coming through water. I grabbed my work duffel from the whole closet. It still had my site gear in it. Went to the bedroom dresser. They were still in bed. Holly clutching the sheet to her chest and packed 3 days of clothes without looking at either of them. Holly tried to speak. "Please just let me." I held up one hand. She stopped. I walked out. Heard her crying as I hit the stairs. Warren said something I did not catch. Did not care. Got in my truck, drove to the Marriott downtown. Paid for a week. Now I am sitting on this generic hotel bed staring at my laptop screen. I have opened a new spreadsheet. The cursor is blinking in cell A1. I type 2 words, asset inventory. Then I start making a list. Bank accounts, investment portfolios, the house, cars, shared credit cards, my grandfather's inheritance that has not been distributed yet, every mutual friend, every family member, every person who needs to know what happened. My hands are not shaking. My heart rate is steady. I am not crying. I am doing what I do best. I am calculating structural failure. And I am figuring out exactly how to bring this whole thing down. I do not sleep that first night. Just sit there updating the spreadsheet until 4 a.m., cross-referencing account numbers with statements I would saved on cloud storage. By morning, I have a complete financial map of my marriage. My phone has been vibrating nonstop. 47 missed calls from Holly by 6 a.m. 12 from Warren. 8 from my parents. I ignore all of them. Head to the construction site at 7 a.m. Like it is any other Wednesday. My crew notices something is off. I am usually chatty in the morning, but nobody asks. We are pouring concrete for the bridge foundation today. The work requires focus. Precision. No room for emotion. It is perfect. Around noon, my site supervisor pulls me aside. Your mom called the office. Says it is urgent. I nod. I will handle it. I wait until 6 p.m. Let them stew. Then I call my mother back from the hotel parking lot. She answers on the first ring. Oh, thank God. Sweetheart, we need to talk. Can you come to the house for dinner? When? Tonight, please. Your father and I, we need to discuss this as a family. That word. Family. Fine. 7 p.m. I hang up before she can say anything else. I pull up to my childhood home at 7:02. The porch light's on. Through the window, I can see movement in the kitchen. Warren's car is already in the driveway. Of course, it is. I sit in my truck for 30 seconds, hands on the steering wheel. Part of me wants to reverse out, leave them all behind right now. But I need to see this. Need to understand exactly where everyone stands. Mom opens the door before I knock. Constance, 64, still dyes her hair the same auburn shade she has had since the 80s. She reaches for a hug. I sidestep it. Come in, honey, dinner is almost ready. The house smells like beef and onions. Comfort food. The kind she makes when someone is sick or sad. Warren is at the kitchen table. He looks up when I enter, tries for a weak smile. I do not return it. Dad is in his usual chair at the head of the table. Bernard, 67, retired postal supervisor. He has got that stern expression he used when we were kids and had broken something valuable. Sit down, he says. I remain standing. Mom fusses at the stove, ladling something into bowls. I made Warren's favorite. That casserole with the ground beef and the cheese. You used to love it, too. Remember? Warren's favorite. On the night we are supposed to discuss him sleeping with my wife. We need to talk about what happened. Dad starts about the situation. The situation, I repeat. That is what we are calling it. Do not be hostile. Mom says, setting bowls on the table. She serves Warren first. Like always. These things happen. Marriages have rough patches. I walked in on them, I say flatly. In my bed? On my anniversary, Mom flinches. Dad shifts in his chair. Warren stares at his casserole. I was going to call you. You just what? Slipped and fell down first into my wife. That is enough. Dad snaps. This kind of anger is not productive. Anger. I laugh. It sounds foreign coming out of my mouth. I am not angry. I am stating facts. Mom sits down, reaches across the table like she wants to take my hand. It was a mistake. A slip, one mistake. You are being dramatic about this. There it is. Dramatic. Your brother feels terrible. She continues. Holly feels terrible. But destroying your marriage over one mistake. That is not who we raised you to be. We raised you to value family. Dad adds to work through problems, not to run away. I look around the table at my mother who served my brother first. At my father who is lecturing me about running away. At Warren who is eating the casserole while they defend him. So that is it. I am supposed to forgive and forget. Go home and pretend this did not happen. We are not saying that. Mom says quickly. We are saying family stays together. We work through things. Marriage is hard. Family stays together. I repeat slowly. That is what you are going with. Yes. Dad says firmly. Family sticks together. You do not throw away a marriage and you do not destroy your relationship with your brother over this. People make mistakes. You move forward. I look at Warren. He is not eating anymore, just pushing food around his bowl. Still has not apologized. Still has not said anything except that I take life too seriously. Mom's eyes are wet. Think of the family reputation. If you make this ugly, lawyers, divorce, everyone will know. The whole community. Is that what you want? Something crystallizes in that moment. They are not worried about me. They are worried about what it looks like, about their golden boy's image, about keeping everything neat and contained. They have already chosen. I stand up. Where are you going? Dad demands. I am done. Done with dinner. Mom asks, no, done with this with all of you. Do not be ridiculous. Dad says, sit down and I caught my brother sleeping with my wife, I say clearly. And you made him his favorite dinner. You are telling me I am being dramatic, that I need to think about the family reputation. Mom stands, tears running down her face now. Please, honey, just be reasonable. I am being reasonable. You are the ones who chose him over me. I am just accepting that choice. I walk toward the door. Mom follows me, grabbing my arm. You are going to regret this. You are going to tear this family apart over one mistake, one slip. Is that what you want? I look down at her hand on my arm, then at her face, then at Warren, still sitting at that table, still not saying a goddamn word. While my parents fight his battle, I did not tear anything apart. Mom, he did. You were just picking your side. I pull my arm free and walk out. Behind me, I hear her crying. Dad is calling me back, saying I am being vindictive. Childish. I get in my truck, drive back to the Marriott. Once I am in the room, I open my laptop, start researching divorce lawyers, family law, asset division, and that is when I find it. A legal term I have never heard before. Alienation of affection. I click the link, read the statute, then read it again. My state is one of 6 that still allows you to sue a third party for destroying your marriage. Not the spouse, the person they cheated with. You can sue them for damages. Emotional distress. Loss of consortium. You can sue your brother. I pull up my phone, search for attorneys who specialize in these cases, find 3 in my area, screenshot their information, then I sit back and stare at the ceiling. A cold smile crosses my face. They wanted family loyalty. They are about to get a lesson in consequences. Monday morning, I call all 3 attorneys. The first 2 are booked solid. The third, Patricia Yoon, answers herself. I specialize in high conflict divorces, she says after I explain the situation. And yes, I have handled alienation of affection cases. How soon can you come in? Today 3 p.m., work. Her office is downtown 14th floor. She is maybe 50. Sharp suit, sharper eyes. Does not waste time on sympathy. Adultery in this state means fault-based divorce, she explains, pulling up forms on her computer. We can file on those grounds. You will get favorable asset division, and she will not see a dime of alimony. Good. The alienation suit against your brother is trickier. Harder to prove. But you said you have evidence. I walked in on them. She nods. Typing, we will need your testimony. Any communications between them, witnesses, if possible. The burden of proof is on us, but a jury tends to be sympathetic when it is family betrayal. How long? Divorce, 4 to 6 months if she does not contest. The civil suit could be a year. But we file them simultaneously. Maximum pressure. I sign the retainer agreement. She says the papers will be ready by Wednesday. One more thing, she adds. Where does your wife work? She runs her event planning business out of a shared office space. Why? Patricia's smile is thin. Process servers can be strategic about timing. Wednesday afternoon, I am on site when Patricia texts me. Both filings submitted. Service happening now. Holly gets served at 2 p.m. I know because she calls me at 2:07, sobbing so hard I can barely understand her. You are suing me? You are actually. How could you do this in front of my clients? Do you know what this? I hang up. Block the number. Warren gets his papers at 3:15. Sheriff's deputy walks right into his office at the auditing firm, hands him the civil suit in front of his entire team. He calls at 3:13. I almost do not answer, but I want to hear this. This is insane, he says. His voice is shaking. We are brothers. You cannot sue me for this. Is crazy. You slept with my wife in my bed. That was. Look. I know I screwed up. But this lawyers. You are trying to destroy me. Over what? Over nothing. Is that what you were going to say? Silence. You made your choice. I tell him, now live with it. I hang up. He calls back immediately. I decline it. He tries 3 more times. I turn off my phone. My parents start their campaign that night. Emails, voicemails, text to my work phone. This will bankrupt Warren. Think of the family name. Your grandfather would be ashamed. I delete them all without reading past the first line. First court hearing is 6 weeks later. Holly's attorney tries to negotiate. She will agree to no-fault divorce. Split everything 50-50. Just drop the adultery claim. Patricia does not even glance at me before responding. No. The judge reviews our evidence. Text messages between Holly and Warren going back 8 months. Hotel charges on Warren's credit card. My testimony about what I witnessed. Holly's lawyer objects. Claims emotional distress. Says I am being vindictive. The judge, woman in her 60s, wedding ring on her finger, looks disgusted. Mrs. Last name, she says flatly. Did you engage in love-making relations with your husband's brother? Holly is crying. Yes. But in the marital home? Yes. On your wedding anniversary? Holly does not answer. I will take that as a yes. The judge looks at her lawyer. Counselor, your client admitted to adultery. We are proceeding on fault-based grounds. File your asset disclosure by next Friday. 2 months later, it is over. Holly gets 30% of our assets, no alimony. I keep the house. She has to move out within 30 days. Her event planning business is circling the drain. Word spread fast about why we divorced. This is a small community. People talk. Her biggest clients canceled contracts. She posted something on Facebook about not being judged for one mistake, but the damage was done. I feel nothing watching her pack her things. She tries to talk to me while loading boxes into her car. I hope you are happy, she says. You have destroyed my life. I look at her. Really? Look at her. I did not destroy anything. You did? I just made sure there were consequences. She drives away. I never see her again. The civil suit against Warren is still pending. His attorney keeps trying to settle. Patricia says no every time. Then I remember something. 10 years ago, Warren and I shared an apartment while I was finishing my engineering degree. When he moved out, he left stuff behind, boxes I have been storing in a paid unit across town. Never thought about them until now. Saturday morning, I drive to the storage facility. Find the boxes labeled Warren. Miscellaneous. Inside, old textbooks, some clothes, a broken laptop, and a phone. Not his main phone. A cheap Android he used for something. I remember him having 2 phones back then. Never understood why. I find a charger that fits. Plug it in. The phone powers on. No password. It is old enough that he did not bother. I scroll through the messages. Text chains about adjusting reports. Moving numbers. Client will not notice. Screenshots of falsified financial documents. Emails discussing corporate fraud so blatant I am amazed he was stupid enough to keep them. This is not just career ending. This is potentially criminal. I sit in my truck outside Warren's office building 3 days later. In my hand is a manila envelope. Inside, printed copies of everything from that burner phone. Screenshots, emails, text messages. The envelope is addressed to Warren's boss and sent to the state ethics board. I get out of the truck, walk to the mailbox on the corner. My finger hovers over the slot. I think about family, about growing up together, about how Warren used to help me with math homework when I was struggling in middle school, about the time he lent me money when my car broke down in college. Then I think about him looking at me and saying, "You always take life too seriously." I think about my mother serving him casserole. I drop the envelope. It slides into the mailbox with a soft thud. I walk back to my truck and drive away. Behind me, that envelope sits in the darkness, waiting to be collected, sorted, delivered. Warren has no idea what is coming, but he will. 3 days later, I am reviewing structural reports at a coffee shop. When Warren calls, I almost do not answer, but curiosity wins. "What did you do?" His voice is raw. Panicked. "What did you do?" Going to need more context. "My boss just suspended me. Pending investigation. They are talking about fraud. Falsified documents. Where did they get?" "No idea what you are talking about." "Bees. This was you. You sent them something. What did you send them?" I take a sip of coffee. Sounds like a work problem. Warren should probably talk to your lawyer. He is breathing hard. "If I go down for this, I swear to God, you will what? Sleep with my wife again?" Too late. I hang up. He does not call back. The state ethics board moves faster than I expected. Week later, Warren is fired. Not suspended. Terminated for cause. No severance. His professional license gets suspended pending their investigation. I hear about it through Mom's voicemail. She is crying so hard I can barely understand her. They fired him. He cannot work. He cannot pay his mortgage. This is your fault. You did this. You are destroying your own brother. I delete it halfway through. 10 days after his termination. I am eating lunch when I get the call. This is Constance. Mom's voice is ice. "Your brother is in the hospital." My fork stops halfway to my mouth. "What happened?" "Panic attack. Severe enough that he could not breathe. Thought he was having a heart attack. They have got him sedated." I set down my fork. "Is he stable?" "Stable? He almost died because of you. Because you could not let this go. Are you happy now? Is this what you wanted?" I think about my anniversary. About Warren's smirk about "you always take life too seriously." I did not sleep with his wife. I say quietly. He made a mistake. One mistake. And you have destroyed his entire life over it. He destroyed his own life. "Mom, I just made sure there were consequences. You are a monster. I do not know who you are anymore." She hangs up. I finish my lunch. Go back to work. That night, I feel something, not guilt. I am past that. Just awareness that this is permanent, that there is no going back from here. I sleep fine anyway. 2 weeks later, Warren starts calling again. Drunk calls, mostly rambling messages about how I have ruined him, how he cannot find work, how everyone in the industry knows what happened. The third drunk call comes at 2 a.m. "You are my brother." He slurs. "We are supposed to. You are supposed to. Family does not do this. You slept with my wife." I know. I know I did. But this. You have taken everything from me. Everything. My job. My reputation. I should have thought about that before. I hate you. I hate you. You self-righteous piece of the message cuts off. Next one comes an hour later. More threats. More drunken rage. I save them all. Take them to Patricia Monday morning. Restraining order, she says immediately. These are threatening. A judge will grant it. Filing takes an hour. The hearing is 2 days later. Warren shows up looking like hell. Unshaven, wrinkled clothes, dark circles under his eyes. His lawyer tries to argue that he is just emotional, not dangerous. The judge listens to 3 of the voicemails. Order granted. Mr. Last name, you are to maintain a distance of no less than 500 feet from your brother at all times. Violation will result in arrest. Warren stares at me across the courtroom, pure hatred in his eyes. I stare back. He is the one who looks away first. Life continues. My consulting business picks up. Landed a contract for a highway expansion project. Hired 2 junior engineers, actually starting to enjoy work again without the weight of a failing marriage hanging over me. Holly is completely off social media now. Mutual friends say she moved back to her hometown working some administrative job. Her event planning business dissolved after her clients abandoned ship. Warren's still unemployed. Cannot get hired anywhere in financial auditing. His name is poison. Word is he is living off credit cards and whatever mom and dad can spare. Speaking of my parents, they have stopped calling. Just occasional emails I do not read. Block their numbers after mom called my office phone trying to reach me. 4 months after I mailed that envelope. I am in my apartment sorting through mail when I see it. Certified letter. Return address. Caldwell and Associates. Estate planning. My grandfather died 8 months ago. Heart attack, quick and painless. He was 86. Good man. Veteran. Built his own successful contracting business from nothing. Sold it for a fortune in his 60s. I was named executive of his estate 3 years before he died. He said I was the only one with a level head. That Warren was too greedy and Dad was too soft. I opened the envelope, a state of grandfather's name. Final distribution hearing scheduled. Your presence as executive is required. Please contact our office to confirm attendance. The date is circled in red ink. 3 weeks from today. I stare at it for a long time. Then I pull out my phone and scroll through ignored messages. There are dozens from my family over the past months. Have not read any of them. But I know what they have been hoping for. The inheritance. Grandfather's estate was worth over $2 million. They are counting on it. Warren needs it to survive. My parents have been draining their retirement helping him. This money is their salvation. I pick up my phone. Dial Caldwell's office. This is my name. I am calling about my grandfather's estate. Yes, Mr. Last Name. We have you scheduled for the distribution hearing in 3 weeks. Will you be attending? I will. But I need to discuss something first. The will has a discretionary clause regarding moral turpitude. Pause. Yes, it does. Your grandfather was very specific about that provision. I need to invoke it. Another pause. Longer this time. I see. Can you come in this week? We will need to review documentation. Thursday work. Thursday at 10 a.m. Bring any evidence supporting your invocation of the clause. I hang up, walk to my filing cabinet. Pull out the divorce decree, Warren's termination letter. The fraud investigation documents. The restraining order. I spread them across my kitchen table. My phone buzzes. Text from a number I do not recognize. I open it. This is Dad. Your mother. And I know the estate reading is coming soon. We hope this can bring us back together as a family. We need to heal. Please call us. I read it twice. Then I delete it and I start organizing my documents into a neat stack. Ready for Thursday's meeting. They made their choice when they served Warren his favorite casserole and told me I was being dramatic. Now they are about to learn what dramatic actually looks like. Thursday at 10 a.m. I am sitting across from Morrison Caldwell. He is 70, maybe older, with the kind of quiet authority that comes from 50 years of estate law. Your grandfather was very specific about this clause, he says, reading glasses perched on his nose. He witnessed significant family betrayals during his lifetime. Wanted provisions in place. What constitutes moral turpitude under the will? Adultery, fraud, criminal behavior, anything that violates the family's honor. As he put it, your grandfather was Korean War veteran. Values like loyalty and integrity were not abstract to him. I slide the divorce decree across his desk. My brother committed adultery with my wife. Caldwell reviews it. Not slowly. Criminal fraud investigation. I add Warren's termination letter. His license was suspended. He was fired for falsifying financial documents. Caldwell reads carefully. Makes notes on a legal pad. And my parents? I ask. The clause allows for removal of beneficiaries who enable or defend the offending party. Do you have evidence of that? I do not have documentation of the dinner, but I have the emails, the voicemails, the texts where they call me vindictive and dramatic, where they beg me to drop the lawsuits against Warren. Caldwell reviews them all. This is sufficient, he says finally. Under the terms of your grandfather's will, you have full discretionary power to redistribute their shares. I want them removed entirely. He looks at me over his glasses. You understand this is permanent? Once executed, it cannot be undone. I understand very well. I will draft the amendment. The reading is in 3 weeks. They will be notified of the distribution at that time. 3 weeks feels like 3 days. The morning of the reading, I put on my best suit. The navy one I wore to my wedding. Seems appropriate. I arrive at Caldwell's office at 2 p.m. The conference room has a long mahogany table, high-backed leather chairs, and a view of the city skyline. My family is already there. Mom sits on one side, Dad next to her. Warren is across from them. They all look up when I enter. Mom's expression is hopeful, desperate, like this inheritance might fix everything that is broken. Dad nods at me stiffly, some kind of acknowledgement. Warren will not make eye contact. He has lost weight. Hair needs cutting. Looks like he is wearing one of Dad's old sport coats. Thank you for coming, Mom says softly. I do not respond. Take a seat at the far end of the table. The silence is heavy, awkward. Warren fidgets with a pen. Dad clears his throat twice but does not speak. Caldwell enters at 2:15. Leather portfolio under his arm. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. He sits at the head of the table, opens the portfolio. We are here for the final distribution of the estate of grandfather's name. As you know, the estate has cleared probate and is ready for distribution. He puts on his reading glasses. Total estate value after taxes and fees. $2.1 million. Mom exhales slightly. Relief in her eyes. Caldwell begins reading the standard legal language. Grandfather's full name, dates, mental capacity declarations. The family sits patiently. Warren's leg is bouncing under the table. The will originally designated distributions as follows. 40% to designated charities, 40% divided among grandchildren, 20% to Bernard and Constance. Was originally designated. Warren notices the past tense. His eyes narrow slightly. However, Caldwell continues. The will contains a discretionary clause allowing the executive to modify distributions in cases of moral turpitude or behavior that dishonors the family name. The room temperature seems to drop. The executive has chosen to invoke this clause. Mom sits forward. What does that mean? Caldwell looks at me briefly, then back to his documents. Warren, last name, was terminated from his position for financial fraud. His professional license was suspended by the State Ethics Board. Additionally, court records show he committed adultery with his brother's wife, leading to a civil judgment against him. Warren's face goes white. Furthermore, Bernard and Constance, last name, demonstrated complicity by defending Warren's actions and pressuring the executive to withdraw legal proceedings. Wait, Dad starts. Caldwell continues without pause. Therefore, under the executive's authority, the distribution has been modified as follows. 60% to designated charities totaling $1.26 million. 40% to the executive totaling $840,000. $0 to Warren, last name, $0 to Bernard and Constance, last name. The silence is absolute. Then Warren explodes. You cannot do this. He is on his feet, chair clattering backward. You cannot just, this is not legal. It is legal, Caldwell says calmly. The executive acted within his authority as granted by the will. Mom is crying. Not dramatic sobs, just tears running silently down her face. She is staring at me like she does not recognize me. Dad sits frozen, color draining from his face. We have nothing. Mom whispers. We spent everything on Warren's legal fees. We had to remortgage the house. This was supposed to. She cannot finish. Warren is circling the table toward me. Security appears in the doorway. Caldwell must have pressed a button under the desk. You destroyed me. You wanted family loyalty. My voice is steady. Cold. So did I. You taught me family stays together. I learned that lesson. You just did not realize I would include myself in that equation. Please. Mom reaches toward me. Grandfather left me executive because he knew I would honor his values. Loyalty, integrity, honor. I look at Warren. You violated all of them. I made a mistake. Warren shouts over the security guard's shoulder. One mistake. You made a choice on my anniversary in my bed with my wife. I pick up my copy of the distribution papers. I made mine today. I walk toward the door. We're your family? Dad finally speaks. Voice breaking. I stop. Turn back. You made your choice when you served him his favorite casserole and told me I was being dramatic. I just made sure you live with it. I walk out behind me. Mom's sobs echo down the hallway. I am in my truck. Key in the ignition when my phone buzzes. Text from unknown number. Photo attachment. I open it. It is a picture of my apartment building. My floor. My door. The message. We need to talk. We are not done. It is from Warren's number. Different phone. He must have changed it after I blocked him. I stare at the photo for 5 seconds. Then I delete it, start the engine and drive away. Let him come. I have got a restraining order and no reason to be afraid of a broken man with nothing left to lose. The past is done. Now I just have to make sure it stays buried. I get back to my apartment at 4 p.m. Or a whiskey. Sit on the couch and wait. My phone starts at 4:37. First call from mom. Then dad. Warren. Mom again. Dad. Warren. 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 By 6 p.m., I have 89 missed calls. The voicemails pile up. I do not listen to them. Just watch the notification count climb. Delete them in batches of 10. Text messages flood in. I catch fragments before I stop reading. You have destroyed us. We are your family. How could you? Please. 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 I block all their numbers. Turn off my phone. The silence is perfect. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. 3 days after the will reading. Doorbell rings. Then pounding. I look through the peephole. All three of them. Mom, Dad, Warren. Mom's eyes are red and swollen. Dad is holding her up, looking like he has aged a decade. Warren is unshaven, hollow-eyed, wearing the same clothes from the reading. Please, baby, please just talk to us. Mom's voice cracks through the door, more pounding. Dad, now we made a mistake. Please, we are family. Warren, I am sorry. I am so sorry. Please do not do this. I stand 6 feet from the door. Can hear every word, every sob, every desperate plea. Do not move, do not speak. They stay for 20 minutes. Mom's crying gets quieter toward the end. Just defeated whimpers. Finally, they leave. I pour another coffee and sit back down. They come back. Tuesday evening, Thursday morning, Saturday afternoon. Each time I am home, each time I do not answer, install a doorbell camera so I can see when they arrive without them knowing I am there. Warren leaves a note. The third visit, slides it under the door. I have nothing left, no job, no money, no future, please. I throw it away without reading past the first line. Week after that, my phone rings from an unknown number, different area code. I answer thinking it is a client. Please. I know I do not deserve anything, but I am desperate. Holly's voice. I need help. I cannot. You are not my problem anymore. I hang up. Block the number. She tries twice more from different phones. I stop answering numbers I do not recognize. Life moves forward. My consulting firm lands the highway expansion contract. Hire 4 more engineers. Revenue triples in 6 months. Go on a date with someone from the project owner's office. Civil project manager. Sharp sense of humor. Does not ask about my past. We see each other a few times. Nothing serious. But it is nice. Normal. Start sleeping through the night again. 3 months after the will reading, I get an email. Subject from your mother. I almost deleted, but something makes me open it. Your father had a health scare last month. Heart palpitations. He is okay now, but it scared me. Warren still cannot find work in his field. He is working at a department store in the stock room. We had to put the house on the market. I am your mother. I will always love you. I am so sorry. Please forgive us. I read it twice. Feel something? Not guilt. Not regret. Just acknowledgement of what is gone. I archive it without responding. 6 months after the will reading, I am scrolling through LinkedIn and see Warren's profile updated. Assistant accountant, regional retail chain, entry-level position. Probably makes a third of what he used. 2. I stare at it for 10 seconds, feel nothing. Close the app. 1 year later, my firm has 12 employees now. Just signed a contract for a municipal bridge replacement. Biggest project yet. New apartment downtown. Better view. Minimalist furniture. No family photos. Morning routine. Gym at 6 a.m. Office by 8 a.m. Site visits in the afternoon. Dating someone steadily now. Architect. Met at an industry conference. She knows I am divorced but has not asked for details. I have not offered them. I am in my old city for a site inspection. Stop at a coffee shop I used to go to with Holly. Constance is in the corner alone, cup of tea in front of her. Barely touched. She is gray now. Completely gray, thin, looks exhausted in a way that goes beyond physical. Our eyes meet. She starts to stand. Tears forming immediately. I look at her for 5 seconds. Then I turn and walk out without ordering. Do not look back. 2 weeks ago, my phone rang. Unknown number, local area code from my old city. I let it go to voicemail. Did not check the message until an hour later. Deleted it without listening. This morning, I am at my desk reviewing contracts when my phone vibrates. Another blocked number. Another message. I glance at the notification. Do not open it. Silence my phone and return to the contract. My junior engineer knocks on my door frame. Morning meeting at 5. We are reviewing the bridge load calculations. I will be right there. He leaves. I look at my phone one more time. The notification is still there. I swipe it away without reading it, grab my coffee, and head to the conference room. People ask sometimes. Friends, dates, colleagues. Are you close with your family? No. I say we do not talk. Most do not push. Those who do get a simple version. We had a falling out. It is permanent. No one has asked if it was worth it. Maybe because they can see the answer on my face. I lost my wife, my brother, my parents, every connection to my childhood. Gained my self-respect, my grandfather's legacy, my freedom. The real question was never whether it was worth it. The question was, could I have lived with myself if I had done nothing? If I had gone back to that dinner table, eaten that casserole, and pretended everything was fine? Answer is no. They made their choice when Warren said I take life too seriously, and Mom called it a slip. I made mine when I dropped that envelope in the mailbox. Everyone lives with their choices. Friday evening, I am leaving the office. My junior engineer catches me at the door. Hey, boss. A few of us are grabbing dinner at that new place on 5th. You coming? I think about going home to an empty apartment. Think about checking my phone for messages I will never answer. Yeah, I say. I am in. We walk out together. My phone vibrates in my pocket. Another message from another block number. I do not even check it. The past is dead. I made sure of it and I am finally okay with that. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.